We continue our study on the power of a positive perspective. This week, looking at the perspective of kindness. Over the past few lessons, we've been considering the idea of keeping in step with the Spirit and unfolding what the fruit of the Spirit will mean in our lives. Galatians 5:25, if we live by the Spirit, let us also keep in step with the Spirit. To keep in step with the Spirit means to let the Holy Spirit guide our lives. And certainly that's what we want, to be in step with the Spirit who has given us life in Christ. In doing this, we recognize that part of the fruit of the Spirit is a perspective, an outlook of kindness. There's a need for a positive perspective because of the reality of bad things in this world. We can't control all of the bad things going on around us, but we can control our attitude. We can be in step with the Spirit. There is a need for a positive perspective. It enhances our lives. It helps us in so many ways. And it gives honor to the Lord who calls us in faith. Our lives flow downstream from our convictions. If you change your thinking, you will change your life. Faith is a choice. Believing in God, believing what God has told you and what He has revealed in Jesus Christ, is a decision you make that changes everything in your life. Faith is a choice, and the attitudes that flow from faith are also a choice. They are not merely feelings that we have no control over, but rather they are a conscious decision of the sort of people we are going to be. Colossians 3:12, put on then, as God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, compassionate hearts, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience. He says to put on these things, in particular, to put on kindness. Now, we use the expression that someone is putting on to indicate they are being insincere. Sometimes we have to be aspirational in our affect. That is to say, we may not feel like being kind, but we can choose an outlook of kindness. To put on kindness is to make a decision of the sort of people we are going to be. How then do we cultivate a perspective of kindness? How do we grow to be more kind? How do we get more in step with the Spirit? We do this always by looking to God Himself. Ephesians 4:32, be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another as God in Christ forgave you. As Christians, we know what kindness is because God has shown us. We are able to be kind, not because of who the other person is, but because of who God is. Whenever we keep ourselves focused on God, we are able to stay in step with the Spirit. In Titus 3, verses 4 and 5, but when the goodness and loving kindness of God our Savior appeared, He saved us, not because of works done by us in righteousness, but according to His own mercy, by the washing of regeneration and renewal of the Holy Spirit. Those of us who have been baptized into Christ, who have received the washing that brings regeneration, and have been sealed by the Holy Spirit of promise, we know the kindness of God. Knowing this, we are able to be kind people. In Luke 6:35, Jesus commands, "But love your enemies and do good and lend, expecting nothing in return. And your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High, for He is kind to the ungrateful and the evil." God's kindness is not because we deserve it. It's not because of us. It's because of Him. In the same way, we should show kindness to others, not because of who they are, and even not because of who we are, but because of who God is and what God has shown us. A perspective of kindness will grow as we grow in appreciation for the grace of God that has been shown to us. Kindness also has an impact on evangelization. If we are kind people, we are able to reach out more effectively. If we are harsh and unkind, we are not likely to get a good hearing for the gospel of Jesus Christ. 2 Timothy 2:24, "And the Lord's servant must not be quarrelsome, but kind to everyone, able to teach, patiently enduring evil." Now, the Bible does not say we accept evil. We don't embrace evil, but we endure it. That is to say, we live in this world, and we will be victims of wrongs. But we should be patient, and we should be kind, because in being kind, being patient, we are able to teach. Sharing the good news of Jesus Christ is a tremendous motivation for staying in step with the Spirit. It's a tremendous motivation for cultivating a perspective of kindness. Kindness is needed in the church. It's sad, but as the church is made up of imperfect people, we don't always get along. But we should strive for unity, and we should treat one another with kindness. Matthew 10:42, "And whoever gives one of these little ones even a cup of cold water because he is a disciple, truly I say to you, he will by no means lose his reward." When you do something kind to another Christian, because that person is a disciple, you do something kind for them, not because they deserve it, not because you want to, but because of the Lord. You will have a reward. Galatians 6, verse 10. "So then, as we have opportunity, let us do good to everyone, and especially to those who are of the household of faith." We must always remember there is a priority for doing good, for showing kindness to those who are in the church. But notice, as we have opportunity, we are to do good to all people. There is a sense in which, because we share in the human condition, that we should be kind to all people. Hebrews 13:3, "Remember those who are in prison, as though in prison with them, and those who are mistreated, since you also are in the body." You're in the body. That is to say, you live in this world. You have a physical nature. And sharing in the common afflictions of mankind. You know what it's like to be sick. You know what it's like to suffer pain. And for that reason, you should have empathy. Certainly, primarily to those who are in the Lord's church, but also to all men, because you are in the body. That is to say, you live in the same world, and you should be empathetic with those who are suffering. Being kind requires attention to various situations. One thing that would be kind in a particular setting would be cruel in a different setting. Romans 12:15, rejoice with those who rejoice, weep with those who weep. There are times when levity, when humor, it's not appropriate. When people are suffering, there is a somberness that is appropriate. On the other hand, it's unkind to be the wet blanket and not rejoice with those who are rejoicing. We need to be attentive to situations. Ephesians 4:29, let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up as fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear. To be kind means to be attentive to the situation and to speak in such a way that you give grace. That may mean being uplifting. It may mean being empathetic and sorrowful. But in every situation, you should build people up according to their need at the moment. You should be attentive to their situation, and you should humble yourself to serve them in kindness according to their need. A perspective of kindness is greatly needed in this world, because our lives flow downstream from our convictions. We should be looking to the Lord. And as we look to the Lord, our outlook will change. And when we change our thinking, we will change our lives. When we change our thinking about God and about God's creation, about other men and women, the way we treat them, the way we will see them, will change. Keep your heart with all vigilance, Proverbs 4:23, for from it flow the springs of life. We need to keep our hearts so that we will have a perspective of kindness, so that we will be the people God has called us to be, in step with His Spirit. I hope you found this class helpful, and I hope that you'll join us again as we continue our study on the power of a positive perspective. Have a blessed day.